All right, we are back again with another edition. Georgia takes on Ole Miss. Georgia is a 7.5 point favorite. It could crawl up to 8 at this point. Let's see. Update. Still 7.5. The over under is let's see, 45.5. So that's pretty telling actually. Um. Anyway, give us your general thoughts on the game.
It's going to be a test. I don't. I mean, we're this far into the season, and I just don't know. Are we going to get the Georgia team that shows up for the second half of games, or are we going to get the Georgia team that shows up for the first half of games? And I'm going to tell you, if we get off to a slow start against Ole Miss, they can put a hurt on you. So I'm hoping for a faster start. I'm hoping for the defense to wake up early, and we should, in my opinion, be able to run the ball. And question. I know Ole Miss is good, and they hit on the quarter transfer portal with the quarterback that came from what I think a D2,
Right.
but I don't know if he's been on the road in this type of environment. And I know Kirby's challenged the fan base, so it'll be interesting to see how they withstand that. But be a good test.
So I'll just put out and say this: if Georgia hasn't played the way that has played this season so far, I would be very confident in a Georgia blowout. But with the way that they play or have played in every single game, I have zero confidence of what. Oh, well, we'll have to edit that out. Anyway, I have zero confidence in this game going the right way for Georgia or anything. I have no idea. I have no expectation. If you go, and I know a lot of people, a certain person named Graham, who has a Georgia football website, has told me that I shouldn't be Munsoning so hard, and maybe he's probably right. Uh, Go and look at the stats. They're 96th in rush defense. They're like in the 50s in total defense. Their red zone defense is atrocious. Their red zone offense is 57th. They've kicked more field goals than they've scored touchdowns. Um, they their defense is just as bad as Kentucky's is. So great, that's wonderful, but um, if the defense keeps playing the way it does, you're going to find yourself in a hole, kind of like what you said. And Lane Kiffin's going to sit there and do that. And I think, honestly, that game against Washington State was, I don't know, an anomaly for sure. I think that was a look ahead spot, and they were probably prepping for us all last week. So this is their shot to make a statement. If they win this game, they're definitely going into the playoffs. And Georgia needs this to stay in the playoff picture. It makes it a lot easier if they win this game. So you have a team that wants to win on the road. They don't need it necessarily, but they probably would like to have it. In Georgia, their back's up against the wall and they're at home, meaning they're playing a team that's very susceptible, and they're overrated. I think Ole Miss is overrated. I think that is true, but nothing has given me any confidence in this game for Georgia to put his best foot forward.
No, me either. And it's our defense being leaky, and knowing how you can get so far behind, and then, as I've said, the margin of error that you're putting your offense in. Um, if you get started slow on defense, so I agree with you, and I'll agree with one other point. I think Lane Kiffin had this game circled whenever he saw the schedule come out, and I think that lackluster performance you saw against Washington State was 100% them being prepared, getting prepared for Georgia. I believe they've been doing this for weeks, if not for a while. So they'll be well prepared, and that's why I think Kirby knows it's going to be really important to try to rattle this guy early on. And it's not just him; it's the offensive line, it's the count, the communication from Kiffin from the sideline. So, yeah, it'll be a big test. And I agree with you. If Georgia loses this, it's starting to look bleak, man, at this point in the season on whether or not. But I mean, I'm not saying they won't. They'll have to play lights out. They got no room
No
margin
room
for
for
it.
error. None.
No, none.
None.
So it's that's every game. It seems like same thing for last week. If they would have lost against Auburn going into Ole Miss,
There would be no.
think about where we would be today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'd be really worried. Look, here's the thing. Everything does point to Georgia winning. The last time they played on the road was in week 2 against Kentucky, which is not an intimidating place. It's weird, but it's not an intimidating place. This quarterback did not start that game. That was Austin Simmons who started that game. Kentucky had a chance to win that game as well. South Carolina or not South Carolina. Arkansas had a chance to beat this team. LSU had every opportunity. I know it was on the road for LSU, but they had every opportunity to beat this Ole Miss team. They're not, if you go and look at their schedule, they're not that scary. And if you go look at the stats, they're not scary. But given the fact that, we let Alabama at home, and that was a very intense environment, probably going to be the most intense all season, get up on us 14-0. And we couldn't do anything the first 2 drives offensively. And their Alabama's defense is about like Ole Miss's defense. So, statistically. So, I have no idea what to expect. I expect Georgia to win. I'm not 100% confident in it.
If you're telling me that you think Alabama was going to be the most intense crowd and it was good, don't get me wrong. I think Kirby's looking to amp it up even more on Saturday with Ole Miss coming into town. I think he's going to be relying on the crowd to rattle that quarterback. So if you're going to the game, it's important to show up early and be loud the entire time.
Here's the other. Sure, you can rattle a quarterback, but you know why they rattled Hendon Hooker in 2022?
They got after his ass.
Yeah, and they were cornerback blitzes blindsiding him and crushing him, and then there's this wall of noise and rain and shit's not going right. That's how you rattle somebody. The offensive lineman jumping off sides. We don't have somebody to go after the quarterback, and that's my biggest worry. I'm not really worried about the offense and Gunner and all that. I think we should be okay scoring points, but I'm more worried about the defense getting us in a hole where we can't get out of.
Me too. And I will tell you this, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't watched, I'll be honest, I've watched some of Ole Miss, but I think the run defense is not very good at all. So Georgia should be able to get healthy running the ball.
Georgia almost ran for 200 yards against Alabama, and with Ole Miss's defense, it's ranked lower than Alabama's. Alabama's 94th or 93rd, I think, and Ole Miss is 96th. So they should be able to run the ball. If you can run the ball and control the clock,
that's another key.
Then that's a recipe for success. But
and score in the red zone. I mean, score a 6, not 3. Yeah. Control the clock, run the ball, and then score 6 and keep their offense off the field. Yeah.
We should have. You said that Green might be able to go.
I heard that both Gaston and Green and Freeling were all good to play. Are going to try to go.
The only new out that Georgia has, per the report, and that was yesterday, so Wednesday, was Kyron Jones. He's out with a foot injury. So, but I mean, safety.
He's out for the rest of the year for an extended period of time.
Yeah. So, and safety has been a rotating cast, so it's not really. I mean, it doesn't really do anything. I mean, actually, you get to see Maddox, who's an older guy who's had playing time, So at least depth-wise, I'm not worried about someone not, hasn't played at this level. I mean, UAB has played teams like Ole Miss before, so I don't think that's going to be that big of an issue. I also Branch. I mean, where has his brother been?
Got in a little bit.
A little bit, but hasn't played a whole lot.
No, he hasn't. So we'll probably get to play Saturday.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Confidence wise, 1 through 10, Georgia winning. How confident are you in that?
6.3.
I would say winning. I'm a 7.8.
Wow.
Covering the spread, I'm like a 2.
Spread's crept up all week, right?
Yeah, and that's sharps. The betting public right now is on Ole Miss.
Yeah.
So if sharps, but top 10 teams that come onto the road in Sanford Stadium are Kirby's undefeated.
Where was Alabama ranked?
Well, outside of Alabama. So
we're gonna qualify every fucking statement and stat with that.
Yes.
Yeah. I was about to say that didn't sound right when I first heard it without a qualifying, because Alabama just whipped our ass at home. So, and that's the thing. Georgia had a long. That's the other thing. We got to protect our house. Georgia had a long winning streak at home before Alabama came in and just took our candy. So that's another important element. We can't allow teams just to come in. We have got to be an intimidating atmosphere, and we got to protect our house. Playing in that Southeastern Conference on the road, especially night games, should be extremely tough. And I don't believe Ole Miss, given that part of it, I don't believe on paper or on what little I've seen is a better team than Georgia. I believe Georgia should win this game. How confident? Like I said, I'm not a 7.8. I can tell you that. I'm 6.3, over 50%.
Well, look, the stats point to Georgia winning, and the numbers never lie. I mean, I watched this team play Arkansas, Ole Miss, and Arkansas should have won that game late. They had every opportunity to win that game.
I watched that game.
And Arkansas's not anything special. I mean, they fired their coach.
The coach fired, yeah.
Yeah. So, everything points to Georgia winning this game, but there's a factor of Lane Kiffin, the offense, and how poorly this defense played first halves that it makes me a tad cautious.
Yeah, you could very easily see where Georgia comes out, and for whatever reason, in the first half, shell-shocked, Ole Miss runs up 28 on us, and we're like scrambling to score points. You could foresee that. And by the way, while we're talking about this, just for a second, we're talking about the slow starts, because it's a thing now, and we might as well say it's a thing and call it what it is. Kirby says he doesn't know what it is, right?
Which is really scary.
And that they made really, this is so Kirby, minor adjustments that the journalists wouldn't understand at halftime, but by and large played exactly the same way, right?
Yeah.
And so my question is, what the fuck is that? If that's to be believed, and I don't think he has it, I shouldn't say he doesn't have any reason to lie to us, but I don't think he's lying. I think my opinion is Georgia comes out and Schumann's philosophy is, let's see what they got, and then we'll make the adjustments after that. But it's almost like, well, let's see what they got. It looks pretty damn good. And so I don't know if that's true. I'm not a defensive guru, but it seems like we're reactive and our guys are not playing fast. I saw several times in the first half against that Auburn game, or against that Auburn team, where I thought defensive guys were looking for other guys to make the play.
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of the like Auburn was coming off a bye. They had their backs against the wall. They're at home at night. They have to throw a good punch. I mean, did you see? I don't know if you saw it. I'll show it to you after the podcast. I wish I could put it in where we both could see it, but shout out Riverside. But Kirby talked about it at halftime during the Kirby Smart show on Monday. They had the highlights, and Kirby at halftime goes, they have their best punch. And it's not about their best one. It's the 50th, 60th blow that you take. How much more can you take, and how much more can you give? And they were saying that in the locker room. So I think it's a mindset with this team of we're going to let them punch themselves out. Kind of like a rope-a-dope.
That's hard to watch, and you may run into somebody that can punch so much that your fucking punch drop by the time you get in third and fourth quarter.
Oh yeah, sure. Whenever you're going against an Ohio State, yeah. I mean, we saw
I
that.
think it gets an Ole Miss.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like people always point to the 21 and 22 teams and how much how great they were. Both times they played an elite offense who could punch back, they got their asses handed to them. And then we got into holes, and we were elite enough to get out of them. Well, not Alabama in 21 in the SEC championship, but again, that game, what the fuck were I hate to bring old stuff up that's over 3 years old, but what the fuck was that? That defense never played like that ever again.
No.
Ever. No. They were so passive and not aggressive at all, and it was like, we're going to see what they can do.
It makes you wonder. I mean, you can see, we've seen versions of Kirby's defenses. It's like, wow, man, it's the same defense, but it can look completely different. And he's got good personnel running it, and he's got good coaches coaching it. But I don't know what the thought process is. I really don't. But I'm concerned Saturday afternoon if we don't come out firing on all cylinders, especially on defense.
Well, you know what? They're going to have juice. We're going to have juice because we're going to stripe Sanford Stadium. So
yeah. Well,
I do look. Let's kind of pivot a little bit, and then we'll give our picks and everything. We're over 15 minutes in. We rag on Georgia for not being engaging with the fan base a lot. This was totally shout out Row 60, another podcast, no free ads. But this was them. It was a grassroots movement. It grew to where the University of Georgia, the athletic program and the football team had to acknowledge it, and they're basically supporting that happens. So I know the boomers and the wine and cheese crowd aren't going to really like that and, whatever. But, look, we've done blackouts. We've done redouts. I think it'd be interesting to see what a striped Sanford Stadium looks like. So if you're going to the game, look at what it says. Try it. Why not? I don't like that the people sitting in the sun on the north stands on the 3:30 Saturday in Sanford Stadium are wearing black, but whatever. And then also
it'd be a little different if it wasn't October the 15th versus September the 15th.
Well, that's true.
Plus, we've been having really good weather, and I think it's supposed to be cloudy and overcast and 80. So, come on, let's suck it the hell up. If that's what they ask you to do something, do it, is what I would say.
Saturday, it's going to be sunny in Athens, a low of 54, a high of 80.
It's not bad. Nobody's going to die from that. Come on.
Well, okay. And then also the end zones are going to be white, which will make it very confusing for our quarterback. So I don't know, but whatever. Whatever. It's a thing. I want to see what it looks like on TV. It'll look. I think it'll look better on TV than in person. Obviously, the overhead shot will look good. The overhead.
I don't get into all that kind of stuff, but whatever they want to do, and about.
Look, I know, you're just gonna have to embrace these type of things. You got to, because adds to the environment and that sells, old people have to get off their little
Old people. What the
soapbox.
fuck you
Yeah,
calling
you. You gotta get off your soapboxes and just embrace these type of things and just let it happen.
I already. What the fuck you want? You're spiking
Yeah,
the
but you
football. I
bitched
already
about
said I
it. You
don't care.
bitched about it and like I don't get in those type of things.
I
Just
did. Is that a
participate.
bitch? That's an agnostic. That's what that is. That's not a bitch. I
Well,
don't give a
agnostic
fuck.
to me
Everybody.
is.
Somebody wants me to wear black and gives me a black T-shirt whenever I walk in. My ass is wearing black. I don't give a shit. I don't.
Well, all I'm saying is show up, be loud, stripe it, make it look pretty. That sells. That overhead shot will be on recruiting pictures and stuff. So that type of stuff sells. It actually goes a little further than what you think it does. So just do it. Support the program. All right, let's get into the picks. I had my number in my head. Now I forgot it because I had to bitch at you about your little sissy fit. Damn. I had my number in my head. You know what? I'll pull it up. All right, you go ahead and pick. I'll pick my number though.
I'm gonna pick Georgia. I think it's gonna be a tough, just like all these other games. I think it's gonna be a knife fight, and I'm gonna pick them to be 31-24, Georgia.
On top.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna pick Georgia 34, Ole Miss 20. Touchdown
We're
late.
not that far off then.
No, I think I wouldn't be shocked if it's 31 to 17 in the fourth quarter. They kick a field goal and then we kick a field goal and that's the final. I don't know. I just feel like this game Georgia should win. Stats tell you that they should win. But how much confidence do I have in that? Very little. So, all right. Which sucks, by the way. I wish I could have that feeling again of, we're just going to crush teams. Oh, my God. LSU is number 10 going into Vanderbilt, First Bank Stadium. I didn't know that was the name. I always thought it was Vandy Stadium. Anyway, news to me. Guess who's favored in this game?
LSU and Vandy?
Yeah.
LSU should be favored, but
No, dude. Vanderbilt's favored by 2.5.
Wow. That's a wow.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
All right, we'll go ahead.
That would be an interesting statistic or the commentary. When has Vandy ever been favored against LSU?
Dude, probably never.
I can't think of an era when they would have been, but maybe I'm missing something. But yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
And good for Vandy. Good for them, man. After, I don't know if you remember when they canceled their game during COVID, I said they should just cancel their athletics program. Anybody that chooses that's so yellow not to show up, and I meant it. And I because I've been up there and I saw all the resources they put into the athletics, but since then, evidently, they've turned the corner, so good for them.
Yeah. All right, you want to pick it?
Pick what? Vandy, LSU?
Yeah.
I'm going to pick LSU. They got to win, man. Brian Kelly has to win. You're dealing with a desperate coach, so I'm going to pick LSU.
I'm going to pick Vandy. Noon start at Vandy. It used to be a sleepy game, and to scare people, but I'll take Vandy. I'll take the points. Why not? What the hell? All right. Duke, Tech. Tech's going up to Duke. Duke's favored by 1.5, which is
I'll take Tech.
crazy.
I'm a believer in Tech, man. Even though I don't want to be, I think Tech is for real, and so I think that offense is going to travel. I know we talk about defense traveling, but I think anytime you can run a quarterback the way they do, I think Tech wins it.
Yeah, I'll take Duke, and I'll take Duke. I'll definitely take that number. I think they're going to win by a touchdown or more. Tech hasn't played anybody. I know they're all puffed out and they're
Come
number 12
back
in
and
the
do
country. They
these.
played nobody.
We're going to do these predictions one day and come back and review not just the Georgia predictions, but all of them. By the way.
Okay, well, Tech does not scare me. I know all these old Georgia fans like you think that Tech's something special. They suck, so whatever.
I'm not saying they're something special. I'm saying they're good. They're competent and they're well coached and they're tough.
Well, they are. They're tough and they're well coached, but outside of that, they suck. They have no talent. No talent, none. Big league China wall. Okay, Oklahoma goes into South Carolina. That's a 12:45. South Carolina, I don't know. If I'm South Carolina, I fire Beamer. If this,
if they lose,
yeah. So what you? Oklahoma's favored by 5.5.
I think Oklahoma wins. I think they win pretty convincingly. I think South Carolina's down. And I think it's really that South Carolina job doesn't have to be hard, but it is a difficult job.
Yeah.
And I don't know about what you're saying. I think they're okay with Beamer as long as he doesn't outwardly start sniffing around the Virginia Tech job. So I just don't think it's that desperate. And like LSU, I think Brian Kelly's desperate. I think he has to win. So I'm going to pick Oklahoma.
I'm going to take South Carolina with the points. I don't know if they'll win the game, but they put up a good fight against LSU. I think this team they need a win. I don't think John Mateer's still hurt for Oklahoma, their quarterback.
He looked bad against Texas, man.
He looked terrible. So if the same version of Oklahoma shows up to the cockpit, I would say South Carolina rolls, but we'll see. All right. Mississippi State goes into the swamp against Florida. Florida's a 9.5-point favorite. I know you're not on Twitter a lot, but there's been a lot of rumors because Scott Strickland, the AD of Florida, has met with boosters, or the boosters met with Scott Strickland. I don't know who called what meeting, and the board of trustees got called this week. It looks like the writing's on the wall for Billy, old Sling Blade. I think he's about to get the axe, win or lose this game. Which a lot, and Florida fans are talking about that he's going to get fired. I know I get it. Like they have to go in a different direction, but it's kind of weird to give up already in the season before you play us, your biggest rival. But I mean, I'll take it.
Well, I don't know about that. If I were a Florida fan and I had a set of expectations like we have, let's put ourselves like we've won 2 national championships, saw arguably the best defense. They've seen Tim Tebow, Steve Spurrier. I think they've seen enough. Whenever you put guys on the field that are wearing the wrong jersey, the undisciplinedness of the stuff that's gone on in Florida historically, do they still have enough talent to muster a gut out a win every once in a while? Yeah. I don't know what the buyout is. I don't know any of the dynamics of that. But if Mississippi State, who I think won, they win any games in conference, maybe won last year.
Yeah.
If they beat you, if that program has now superseded Florida, you and I both know, as fans of the program, if Mississippi State beats us after we've been down for as long as we have, that would be enough for us. So, yeah, I think if Mississippi State goes in there and beats them, and Mississippi State's not bad, and it all depends on whether the players have abandoned, because that's one thing about
they have not abandoned him.
No, they haven't. And so you have to worry about that too.
That's what I would worry about.
Yeah.
I'm a Florida fan.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. You're shitting on the rest of the season. You're giving up on
Yeah.
it because they're still fighting for Napier. And could they pull off and be a stinker to some teams this year? Absolutely.
Their
So
defense is good enough to get them.
I don't know, but if it were me, I don't know the economics, but as a fan, I've seen enough to know this program is not going in the direction that I need it to go. Everything's been leveraged on Lagway. He is not our guy, clearly. Offense sucks. Our coach is supposed to be an offensive coach. We've had multiple issues just being competent over a series of years under his leadership. I've seen enough. So
I don't
that's
know.
my
Look, at Georgia, we've been in this situation. Not as bad. I mean,
no,
no.
not anywhere close to that.
But, well, maybe
Yes.
Don and Goff era. But,
No, not even. I'm telling you.
but we kind of had it very similar with Mark Richt his last year. Like the writing was on the wall that he wasn't where we needed to be was not where Rick had the program at after that Alabama game. It was very obvious. We lost to
But
Tennessee.
Rick had a lot more credibility than Billy Napier does. We've won some Southeastern Conference championships, 10-2.
Sure, yeah. I get that. To me, I wouldn't want to fire my coach in the bye week before we play our biggest rival, and the players quit, and they just shit. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't want that because there is a
Well,
possibility where Georgia goes in there and Kirby would take it. Is just beat the fuck out of Florida.
let me ask, let me not ask, but let me make a statement. And this is more business than it is anything else.
Sure.
If you're Florida and the boosters and AD and all the people that were supposedly called to that meeting, my thing as a booster, if I had skin in the game down there, would be, hey, we're not firing this guy until we absolutely know that we've got at least two other guys that we have consensus for that can take this program and that will accept the position. So, in other words, what I'm saying is, don't fire a guy unless you know who you're going to hire. And I don't know who. If they have that figured out, pull the trigger. If it's inevitable, pull the trigger. If it's not, if you don't have it narrowed down, if you don't know who, and you don't have some indication on the other end, the person's interested and will take it. I'm thinking of Gruden. I'm thinking of I don't know. I don't know who else.
I've seen
Lane
the
Kiffin.
Florida wish list is Kiffin or Marcus Freeman.
The Kansas State guy.
No, Notre Dame.
Oh. Well, I've heard him. Sorry, I heard him rumored for Penn State too. So
Yeah.
I
And
don't
hey,
know why you would leave those jobs. Take either one of the. To
I
be
don't know
honest,
why you would leave Notre Dame to go to Florida. That doesn't really make a whole lot. I mean,
I don't.
maybe I'm looking at Notre Dame, but I mean, you were just in the national championship, so I mean, and by the way, I don't know if you could have won that
print
game.
your own
You had a
money up.
shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
print your own money. So I'm not really, and you probably don't have the same amount of pressure. Nowhere close, actually, that you're going to have in Florida.
No. Same at Ole Miss for Lane Kiffin.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to take a special person. So to
Urban
be
Meyer.
successful, who?
Urban Meyer.
Uh,
All right. Well, we got to pick the game rather than talking about the Florida job situation. Good with fodder though. Mississippi State is a.
I'm going to take Florida. I think.
9.5 favorite. You're going to take Florida.
Yeah, I think Billy Napier escapes another week.
I'll take Mississippi State to cover. If I'm taking them, well, it's not that close of a line. I'll just take Mississippi State to cover. I'm not going to pick that game. I could see a world where they lose.
You're going to wuss out. What do you got to lose? We don't even review our scores. Come on.
All right, fine. I'll take Mississippi State.
Jesus. All
right. Tennessee, Alabama. Tennessee has not won at Bryant-Denny in since the early 2000s. I saw the intro of the last time Tennessee beat Alabama at Bryant-Denny. Alabama's a 7.5-point favorite. Your pick.
Well, I'm going to tell you. Maybe because I just am desiring it, but I'm looking for the Hillbillies to go in there and kick ass and take names. I want them to go in there and just ruin Alabama's damn day. So I'm picking Tennessee. I'm not just I think their offense can. I think that
I do
quarterback.
too. I'm a believer in their offense. It's gimmicky, but it's doing good.
So I'm gonna pick Tennessee, and I'm gonna be
Uh,
pulling hard for them too, man.
you and I are on the same wavelength. I'll take Tennessee to beat Alabama. So if it's going to be a time, it's going to be now. Their defense, Alabama's defense, isn't really that good. So
I don't.
Tennessee
I
could
don't
be
think
able to.
Alabama's that. I mean, Alabama's good. Don't get me wrong; they're good. They deserve where they are. But dude, I want one more shot at those motherfuckers. We're gonna keep saying that to the day I'm 90 years old with Alzheimer's. Bama, I want another shot.
Well, you
There's,
remember that one time in Indianapolis, we had them. We got them then.
yeah, that was our glory shot. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. USC, Notre Dame. Notre Dame's a 9.5-point favorite. This game is in South Bend.
I don't. Sorry, outside of Oregon, which I'm starting to question. I just don't. Any teams from the West Coast, I just don't like, especially when they got to travel across country. So I'll take Notre Dame at home.
I'll take SC. I mean, they've played at Notre Dame for hundreds of years, so I'll take USC. Again, I know I said this the past 3 weeks. USC is extremely underrated. I don't think they're that good, but they're definitely not number 20. They're somewhere in the top 15 and a playoff
What's
team.
the record?
They only have one loss.
To who?
Illinois, but that was on the road.
And what happened to Illinois against Indiana? I just in case I forgot.
Whatever. Look, dude. Look.
So and I can't take a West Coast team seriously. I'm sorry until they got to do something that moves the needle, and they have
This one is for Mark Sanchez.
I've been hearing of Lincoln Riley since the Rose Bowl, whenever we came back and whipped their ass. So I'm not a big fan.
Well, I'm not either, but I hear about USC a lot. So shout out Justin. So I'll take USC. All right, Missouri goes onto the road to Auburn. Missouri's a 1.5-point favorite. Will Auburn will the ball cross or break the plane? Don't know. Who's the reffing crew? Don't know. Are they on it? Who's on it to screw Auburn this week? No one really knows. Your pick. Night game.
I think Missouri. I'm sorry. I think Auburn has quit on that guy. I don't think he has.
Oh, I don't know. Auburn captain said that they were better than us.
Well, they can keep living in whatever world they want to live in, but I just don't know. I thought Hugh Freeze was a better coach. I still think he's a good offensive coordinator, but after seeing they got 31 minutes, they want to piss and moan, and I get it. They have a right to complain. We have a right to complain. Everybody can complain. You fucking lost. You had 31 minutes to fix something, and you didn't do it, and your coach didn't get your shit settled. So, and then Missouri's got a good defense, so I'll take Missouri. And I think it could actually, if Missouri's offense, which they're not, is halfway competent, I think Missouri could put up a big number against Auburn. I think they're going to quit. I think Hugh Freeze is on his last stages.
I think this is Hugh's final stand, and I think if he loses this game, he's going to get fired. They want to fire him. I think this is his last stand. We'll see what happens. I'll take Auburn purely on the fact that it is probably Hugh Freeze's last stand. I mean, he has to have this just to live another week. So I'll take Auburn, which is a fool's errand, I think. But I mean, Missouri's defense is really good.
Missouri's defense is no joke, man.
And Auburn's defense is no joke. So,
Low scoring game, but yeah, I agree.
yeah.
And by the way, watching Auburn is a question of who can be the most undisciplined, and the winner goes to Auburn. Honestly, that's one of the reasons. If you got a decent defense and you don't just manage to continuously shoot yourself in the foot, you're probably going to win this game, and therefore that's the reason I picked Missouri.
Well, yeah, you might be right, but I don't know. It is crazy to me with the amount of talent that they have at wide receiver. That offense has a lot of talent on it, except quarterback, and he's an offensive guy, and he can't coach around that. I mean, it's bad. It's really bad. Anyway, I'll take Auburn just because it's a family, and I believe so. Why not? All right. Well, we have Georgia winning. I was going to say, thanks to our subscribers, YouTube has been very weird about the viewership. We've had people subscribing, but our viewership is like weird right now. So just keep subscribing if you do like this video. I'm actually in contact with YouTube because it's been very weird. Anyway, no one cares about that except me. So just keep watching our videos. If you like it, subscribe, please, because that tells us that we actually have people and we're not broadcasting into the abyss.
We're just in an echo chamber between me and you having a conversation.
Yeah. So keep doing that. And so follow us on Terminus Sports _ATL on Twitter, X, Instagram, TikTok, and then hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds. Boom, that's it. So do that. And hopefully we come back on Monday with Georgia winning and we recap it and how Georgia's going into the bye week sitting pretty for the playoffs. Wouldn't that be a positive story to talk about? All right, well, we'll see you on the other side.
See ya.